Hello friends, today we will learn to make this landscape in pencil. For a landscape like this where there is a water body or trees, forest, mountain, etc., you don't have to worry about the precision of the trees, shapes, etc. However, you have to look at it as a cluster. Though the perspective of the river, the mountain, the size in relation to each other needs to be correct. I've given some shade in the cloud area or the sky area, and I will be smudging it with a cotton ball for an easy and quick texture. If you see, I have given an outline of where the mountain will come or tree will come and a river will come, and then started with my artwork immediately post that. Giving the shape of the tree or the outline of where the tree would be, I'm looking at it as a cluster and seeing the height of it as to how it would be, how far it is going, in what angle it is falling, and that's what I'm doing right now, and giving some scribbles around the shape. In this artwork, I'll be filling in the darkest of the areas first, where the darkest value is, and then in relation to that, I will be working upon the middle tone or the lighter tone. So you see, observing the reference picture, I'm keying in some color or shade in the darker areas. And in relation to that, then I will be keying in areas which is middle tone or the lighter tone or highlights. If you see, I'm not making each leaf of the tree, I'm basically scribbling in the area or the direction where the tree is going, and I'm smudging it with a makeup brush. And like I always say, this is not the first layer, we'll be coming over and doing this again and again. Like now, I'm giving further shade to the darker area, and smudging it makes it a little easier for us to understand as to what tonality we have to pick and take forward. If you see, in the direction of where the dark values are, I'm giving my scribbles and moving forward to the other darker areas. In the front, it's not the tree but rounded tree or bush, etc. So I'm giving my scribble also in the same direction, and not the taller or the longer ones like the trees. I'm now showing you in a slow motion as to how I'm scribbling the tree or the leaves. It's not very difficult. All it takes is practice of scribbling and doing it quickly and moving forward. Now see, from far off, the shapes of the trees have started coming in. You don't have to worry about how it will look later if you follow the process, and trust me, if the proportions and perspectives are correct and you key in the right value, your artwork will look good. Now the left side of the forest is taking shape and giving some more final touches. For now, of course, we'll come and work on it later. I'm now moving on to the middle tones or the highlighted or the lighter tones. Using a eraser pencil, I am giving highlights on the trees, basically leaves where the light is falling and it needs to shine. That actually brings out the beauty of the artwork or what you're trying to make. And very soon it will be time to move on to the other area of the artwork, because we have to work in every place in relation to what we have already made. Now, similar to the left side of the forest, very quickly in the middle area, I am defining the outlines of where the tree will come in, the direction, the height, etc., and taking it forward to the right side and giving the directions again to the leaves or the tree where it will be falling. So I'm looking at the reference picture and then giving the darker values like I had done on the previous patch. All you have to be careful about is the shape of the tree, whether it is tall and lengthy or it is rounded. So the mixture of both is coming in, and at the front of this side you will see that the tree is not going towards the sky, but it's falling left, right, etc., and that's the angle I will give later. Artwork like this seems complicated, but once you get the technique, it's very easy and quick to make. This is the area I was talking about, that here the leaves or the tree branches are not going towards the sky like in any other, because this is closer to us. From our eyes perspective, it is zoomed in, and hence we are seeing the direction where the leaves or the branches are going, and hence I'm trying to give those directions as well. Look at the reference picture. The branches are shooting out of the tree, and that's exactly what I'm trying to replicate. As you see, we don't have to make each leaf or branch, etc. We are just scribbling the values which will give you the shape or a feel of a tree. And very quickly we are going forward, covering this entire area. Smudging it with a cotton ball, it's very quick. And in a landscape like this, when I don't have to do precision of smudging as well, where it's okay if the graphite or the shade moves outside the lines that I have made, hence I use the cotton ball. Zooming in and showing how I'm doing the rounded trees in the front. You don't have to worry about how it looks like, as it is looking like a bush or a shrub or what. As long as the shape and the values are there, it will work. I'm cleaning my eraser pencil on a sandpaper and giving the highlights that I need across. The darkest of the value brings out the beauty of the artwork, and hence I'm working towards the darker tone of the values. Please observe and learn. Now time to do the river or the water body. I'm giving the outline of how it will fall. The areas, it has a lot of rock and stones around, so I'm giving the shape and the angles where the water would be flowing, what is the limitation of the water or outlines of the water, etc. And starting from the area which is further from us, the details won't be visible to the eye from this far, and hence it's okay to do that quickly. But as we move in front of the artwork, we have to worry about the detailing a little. Like I said, I smudge with a cotton ball in artwork like this because it's okay to run over the white area, because we actually want some shade and value there as well. What I'm doing right now is trying to give some color or shade where the stones are coming in. And we'll of course have to work a lot more on stones later. On the left hand side, the stones are not in a particular shape, they are just thrown across. But on the right hand side where I'm right now working, the stones have specific shape, and that is what is giving the beauty. So I'm basically giving this outline of stones a little bit more focus and attention, and then of course we'll shade it as well. Making a stone does not mean you actually are making a stone. Any object that you are making is values. So when you're looking at a stone, it has a shine to it, it has a depth, which is the darkness under it. From multiple angles, it is not flat, it is somewhere rounded, edgy, pointed, etc. So multiple shades on a particular stone in a haphazard manner will give it the effect of the stone. just try to give some markings in the lower area or the bottom where it's touching the ground. Try to give some darker shade. On the top or where the light is coming, give a highlight, and trust me, your stones will start looking like stones soon. You see, all I've done is given some markings randomly, but I've given some attention of the shape because I didn't want it to be round or square. Stones naturally are not having a particular shape, so I've done that and giving the shades accordingly. Using a pencil eraser, I'm giving the highlights in the sand and around the stones and on the stones as well. What I'm doing right now is coloring or darkening the bottom area of the rock where I believe the rock is touching the ground. Because there are so many, I cannot be precise, so hence I'm doing randomly where I feel the rock should take a shape. I'm giving it a shape a little more and defining it. Working on the area where the water is flowing, but rock should be visible as well. So let's see how that comes out. Now this part of the artwork is not tricky, but you've got to pay a little more attention to what you'll be doing because there's a lot of stones here and the beauty will come out from stones, and hence, like I said, I had given the stones a little bit conscious shape and now I'm working on it. I'm not going to follow the shapes exactly how they are, but I'm going to, of course, take inspiration from where it's coming out, where the shadow is, what are the angles of the rock, because nature does a beautiful work when it comes to shades, highlight, picture or drawing. So till the time you're a perfect art master, don't try to do these things with your imagination. Try to copy as much as you can because nature can't go wrong. So I'm leaving darker marks in the area where some foliage is coming or where the light is not hitting the stone, and then I'll move forward further. Smudging it with a cotton ball, and then I'll come back again and work on this area, but let's work on the water a little bit. I'm smudging that with a brush because I don't want now at this time for my shading to go out. Now as you can see, I've started working on the rocks and I'm giving it conscious shades. Where in the reference picture I believe there is darkness, I'm trying to give darkness, and with my pencil I'm also giving it further shape of pointy, edgy, multiple rolls and curves on a rock or a stone. So this is the time I'm working on all of it. Where the stones are joining each other, it will be very dark. The stones have cracks in it, so please ensure that you give that as well. That makes it beautiful. And like I said, the joints between both the stones, or when they are touching each other, there the darkness will come in because the light won't enter, and that makes it look beautiful. In this area there are a lot of pebbles and stones just scattered everywhere, so I'm going to try to do it a little quickly. Firstly, giving some marks across to give it shape of pebbles, stones, etc. thrown across, because these are not big rocks, so I do not have to worry about big shapes, but yes, small shapes or the angle in which they are flowing needs to be a little accurate. Like in this artwork, they are going towards left and a little downward, so I have to ensure that the stones are all going towards that angle. I'll be working on this area a lot because it needs a lot of work and attention. There are minute details that we need to work on: the darker shades, shade inside the shade, rock next to the rock, stone touching another stone, there's some foliage in between, and the land which will be falling onto the stone, even we have to work on that. So simply observe what I'm doing. This land area can be done a little quickly because there's not much there. All we have to do is give direction of the grass or which angle the land is sliding. Some foliage here and there, and we are through. I'll be working on the stone area and the water area a bit more, and please observe. Giving highlights is important, so once we have worked upon the artwork, do give highlights on the stones area where you need. And yes, go with the darkest of the shades once again, because while blending or making the artwork, something else would have gone darker. So in comparison to that, or in relation to that, you have to keep checking your tonality or the shades. So that's what I'm doing right now, giving the final touches to the rocks and the area where the darkness should come in. And yes, I will be using the highlights as well. Very soon we will be done with the artwork. Giving final touches. Using a mechanical 6B pencil to give the deeper darkness and precision. A few highlights in the forest area, my sand and my rocks. And that's about it. Time to sign the artwork. This is the final product. Hope you like the tutorial. Do like and subscribe for weekly updates.